All right, let's start by adding a new file in the common folder and call it list group.jsx. Here on the top, we import React and create a functional component, call it list group. For now, we want to return null. We'll come back to this shortly. Now, as I told you before, whenever you create a component, you should think about the interface of that component. And the best way is to use that component before actually implementing it. So let's go to our movies component. Here on the top, I'm going to import list group from common/list group. Now let's go to the render method. So Command and P or Control and P, @render. We jump right here. Let's scroll down. Here we're going to make a small change. Currently we have a React fragment, and inside that we have a paragraph, a table, and pagination. We're going to introduce a bootstrap row with 2 columns. In the left column, we're going to have everything that currently we have here. And in the right column, we're going to add our new list group. So the easiest way is to replace this react.fragment with a div. So select this as well as the closing tag and rename both of them to div. Good. Now back here, let's apply a class row. Inside this div, we're going to have 2 divs. One with the class call-2, that is our left column. And next to that, we're going to have a div with the class call, which takes the rest of the space. Tab. So we have 2 columns. Now I'm going to move everything that we currently have here inside of the right column. So let's select the paragraph and everything below that. Cut. So here's our bootstrap row with 2 columns. I'm going to move everything inside of the right column. And then back here in the left column, I'm going to add our new list group. List group. Now, what do we need to pass here? At a minimum, this list group should get a list of items to render. So let's add the items property. We're going to set this to this.state.genres. Now, currently we don't have this, so let's go on the top. Here's our state. Let's add genres. Now, similar to how we have initialized the movies property, we can initialize genres right here. And this is perfectly fine for this simple application. But in a real world application, you're going to call backend services to get these movies and genres. So the right place to initialize these properties is in component did-mount lifecycle hook. So let me show you how to do that. For now, I'm going to initialize this to an empty array. Now, let's add component did-mount. So to refresh your memory, this method will be called when an instance of this component is rendered in the DOM. Here we're going to call get movies and get genres. So on the top, let's import get genres from services/fake genre service. Now here in component did-mount, we're going to call this .set state. We set movies to get movies and genres to get genres. And finally, we should replace this get movies here with an empty array. The reason we should initialize these properties to an empty array is because there is going to take some time until we get the data from the server. During this time, we want to make sure movies and genres are not undefined. Otherwise, we're going to get a runtime error. So we have set the genres property. Now back to our render method. So @render. Here's our list group. We set the items property. For now, I can't think of any other inputs to this component. So let's talk about the events. What events do we need here? Well, I believe whenever the user selects an item, we should be notified so we can filter the list of movies. So here, let's add an event on item select. And we set it to a method like this that handle genre select. Let's go ahead and create this method. So right here, handle genre select. In this method, we should get the genre that is currently selected. For now, we just want to display it on the console. Okay, with all these, we have defined the interface for this new component. So now let's go ahead and implement this.